Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an absolutely awesome life. An awesome life on this planet also includes emotions such as sadness, possibly anger, and fear. Definitely fear in there. What we're working on through my channel is to no longer let these emotions rule you, because everything is from a negative, a feeling that's not so nice, coming from fear. Anger comes from fear, sadness comes from fear. You know, you might argue that one, sadness doesn't come from fear, but I believe it is, because I think when we become sad, it's because we think something has ended, or we think we have lost something, and that's the ego, and the ego fears that. So therefore, it mourns the loss of things. And yes, we do mourn the loss of people and pets, and maybe even some material goods if you've lost a house or whatever. But it's how far we take those emotions as to whether or not we're living an awesome life or a life that constantly is struggle and controls us. And that's what we're going to work on in 2018, is really understanding what all of those emotions are, what being human is about, and how to deal with that to transition into an awesome life. One that will still have challenges, but they certainly won't be the ones that you've been experiencing up until this point that have been painful. Why? You don't need those lessons anymore. And if you're continuing to struggle, it's because you haven't broken through and understood that it's no longer necessary to feel pain. So we talk a lot, and I'm answering a viewer question in this video. We talk a lot about, manifesting, and what does that really mean, and why we want to stop suffering, we want to stop feeling bad. How do I, breaking through fear, how do we end fear? Well, you don't end fear, but let me just share something with you. Obviously, fear is a big block to manifesting what you want. Everything is created. Everything exists right now, because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So everything you've ever wanted, every life you've ever wanted to live, every situation you want now, or in the future, or in the past, has already existed. Now, what you have is free will on this planet, and that's the ability to bring that into your reality, because nothing's really solid. Everything's particles, right, that we visually see, and everything else that's not visually seen is a wave. That is all probabilities. So, I'm sure you're up on all this stuff, right? What manifesting then is just bringing the probability, the wave, into a particle. That's quantum physics. And that's why when people go and, argue about this stuff, I'm like, argue all you want. This is fact, that we can actually bring into our reality what we focus on. But this is where the struggle is. So how do you focus on it? Well, if you're coming from the fear, if you're coming from the struggle, you're not manifesting what you desire, because you're actually putting feelings behind it that are of a negative nature, saying, push it away, I don't deserve it, I need it, I don't have it. And that is coming from lack, and that's the message you're sending. So a viewer question was that they understood that even though they want things and they can be very clear and focused and even relaxed about what they want to manifest, they understand that the feelings behind it are the critical key point. And that's why I have been able to manifest so many things, just not even really trying to. Because when I focus on something that I like, I'm not really thinking, I want to manifest it, I want to bring it in, how am I going to do it? I'm just desiring something, and my feelings are all on a very positive, higher frequency of really connecting to that object or whatever, and sure enough, it will appear. Some way or form makes its way into my life. Now, I've had people, one in particular, who just seems to think this is all coincidence. Well, how many coincidences can you have that are like 1 in a billion shots? How many of those can you have before you start to understand quantum physics? And by the way, my friends who dispute that these are coincidences are not up in the 21st century scientific proof that cannot be a coincidence. It cannot be a coincidence. There's no such thing anymore. We know that, right? There are no coincidences. Quantum physics says there are no coincidences. There is something that has transpired, cause and effect, that has created. Sorry, I've got an itchy nose because I just came in from outside. It's in the 30s, so this is why I look like a Eskimo woman. This is not blush. I'm actually, I think, a little windburn. So, what people are not realizing, it just amazes me when somebody's like disputing their ability to manifest, and I'm thinking, like, this is just basic science now. This isn't even woo-woo stuff. This is like, if you focus on something, you can bring it to your reality. What is it? What's the power behind the focus? So this question of a viewer was, and I'm going to answer this to this viewer, thank you for your comment, is he said he is manifesting $1 million. He's going to win the lottery. All very possible. People have done it before. And he said that he feels very comfortable about it. He feels very confident. He, visualizes, he sees it. But he said one thing that he knows that is key behind manifesting is the feeling behind it. And he said he has no feelings behind it whatsoever. They're neutral. By the way, that's not a bad thing. But obviously there's no desire. So there's no positive feelings either about this lottery ticket, this $1 million lottery ticket that he keeps focusing on. And he knows that without that positive feeling, that excitement that elevates that frequency along with the focus and the releasing it and not really putting too much effort into it anymore because it's already done, that is what keeps it from him, is that he's not feeling it. So I guess my answer to you, my friend, is then why are you trying to manifest something you're not excited about? I mean, when I saw my, my little feather earrings in the store that were actually, I really loved them. They were actually a little too big. And then all of a sudden, my friend that I haven't seen in a year and a half shows up with a pair of feather earrings that are the exact perfect size and color. So I had a very elevated, very positive feeling. I really loved those feathers. I thought about them when I got in the car. I thought, gee, I wonder if I should have bought them. But yeah, they were a little bit too big, for me. And sure enough, they show up. I released it, not thinking, I'll get them some point. I was just like, it would have been nice, and it was a focus. Well, because my frequency is so high, or at least was high at that time period, we have our days, right? That absolutely was, boom, it was sent out in the universe, doesn't travel, it's immediate, it's happening. So at that split second, something is happening and bringing it in. Who knows, that might have been the split second that my friend was looking at earrings and for some reason saw those, went to the feather ones, because at that moment I was sending that message out. That's how it's working. Now, if you're thinking about your lottery ticket and it's just a thought, it's just like me thinking about a tree. I don't have any real thought behind it. It's pretty, it makes me feel good. I can look at anything that is just neutral and say, so why would I be focused on something that I'm really not passionate about? So my question to you is, why are you trying to manifest the $1 million? And why are you trying to do it with the lottery? I have a pretty good idea. You think the $1 million is going to give you some kind of a lifestyle that you don't have now. Cool. If you're okay with that and you're not feeling negative about it, that's fine. The second thing is, you think the lottery is the quickest, easiest way to get it without having to put any work in. All right, that's cool too. You're really missing out on a lot, I got to tell you though, because there's something about the journey to getting the $1 million. That journey of getting to that $1 million is really what's extremely valuable. So my question to this viewer is, why not focus on something you're passionate about, along with the abundance not for the abundance sake, but the passion in the thing that you love doing, and then see what happens, because then you're fueling it with something you're really excited about that could possibly bring you $1 million in some way you never imagined. And it's going to happen quicker because you actually are raising your frequency, because you're now focused on something you're passionate about. And that's why it's so important for us to focus on what we really love. That's why people at work they're not satisfied, they're so sad, they're so depressed and stressed out, is because most people are not doing what they really love. Like if you're in sales, but you're selling something you're not passionate about, but you're the killer salesperson because you're going to make the $1 million doing it, your incentive is coming from not a very passionate place. And then you get the money and you're feeling like, gosh, it wasn't worth it. You get all these very unhappy people that are successful. And why? Because they're not doing what they love. You're looking at one. When you guys see these internet training things pop out, anything that pops out here that when I say it's internet training or it says internet training, that's what I ended up doing for a living to allow me to focus on things that I'm passionate about. So there's any number of ways for you to find that passion that will give you the abundance. So if you're focusing on the money and you're not feeling passionate about it, we have to switch gears and say that's not what we came here for anyways. Right? So find that passionate thing, that thing that you go, okay, wow, all right, I do get excited when I think about the thought of maybe having your own photography business, or, and then imagining it being really successful, not the money part, but having your own studio, and, having a lot of projects that you really love doing, not just being busy, because you could manifest that too, and then all of a sudden the thing that you're passionate about you hate because you're working so hard again. Again, you've got to really focus on what's important, because when we keep focusing on that money and that job or that whatever, and there's no true meaning or passion behind it, then we wonder why these things don't work. We wonder why we're not happier or more abundant. All of it has to really, be coherent with your values, how you really feel and think, and if you really feel like you're contributing. My internet marketing, you could say, well, how's internet marketing training contributing? In a huge way. I am opening up the doors to people who want to create their own lives. And it's not easy, by the way. This internet training, it's school. You've got to learn some stuff that is not everybody knows out there. That's why these get-rich-quick schemes are out there, because it's the lottery mentality. Let's get something quick for, that you don't have to work for. That isn't the answer, and that is not going to make you happy. First of all, that doesn't even exist. You can win the lottery, but there's no get-rich-quick scheme with something you actually have to learn. So why not entrench yourself in learning, getting something that you under your belt that you feel proud of, you're an expert, then you really have more knowledge, and then you can use your tools. Like with me internet marketing, I can create other businesses, and that's what I'm doing. I'm building businesses online, so I continue to create my freedom, so I can do things like this because I love this. I don't get paid to do this. So, but I can create other revenue streams that'll bring value to people doing the things that I love because I have the training behind it. So pick something that either is going to support your passion, it's going to create your passion, or is your passion, and quit focusing on that $1 million lottery ticket and just say, okay, let's put the lottery ticket aside. What kind of a lucrative business could I have that I really love? What could I do? I mean, just start thinking, geez, I see these people on, television, they create these simple, inventions, and they make millions of dollars. You just have to be very clever. Come on, you guys, you've got same access to the collective consciousness that I do. Start using it. So clear it out, meditate, and pick the thing that you really do feel. So it's not, You're doing the reverse. It's like, I'm picking this and I'm trying to be excited about it. No, pick what you're excited about first, and then focus on bringing it in. Say, okay, I'm gonna, I'm leaving it to the universe. Come on. I know you're gonna pick the highest, best thing for me, or better. I know you're gonna pull it in. What is that? I'm excited about it. I know it's gonna include whatever your passion is. For me, it's helping others break through their fears, helping others live an awesome life. I just want to, when I see people making these strides and I hear the feedback from people, I can hear them changing in the comments. I can hear them not talking negative, not saying, I want, or I need, or I don't have, or they did this, or the victim mentality. I see those changes. That's so exciting for me. So it fuels these ideas. Then all of a sudden I get pelted with more ideas because I'm tapping into a passion. Passion is a high, super high frequency. All right? So remember that. That is the key to manifesting. And manifesting is really bringing into your reality what already exists. So you don't have to work too hard. You just have to relax and know it's done. Quit worrying about it. Quit thinking you don't have everything. You've got everything you need at all times. And as soon as you put that focus on, quantum physics has to bring it into your reality. And the only thing that's stopping that are those feelings and beliefs and thoughts that say it can't happen. You're stopping it. No technique is stopping it. You're not believing it. You're sending a negative message or not putting it up on that high frequency that can bring it into particle. I hope this is helpful. All right, so forget the lottery ticket. Maybe you'll win it. As soon as you let go and you start doing your passion, you buy a lottery ticket and you win $1 million and you go, wow, bonus, like my earrings, right? All right, you're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. You are abundant and prosperous beyond your imagination. Know this. Welcome it. Be joyful in it. And just say, I wonder what's going to happen today. How exciting to be here on this planet. Namaste.